So in section 6.5, the second part of this, all it is first of all, using the change of base formula. We already did this earlier, so I'm just going to go over this very quickly. There are two ways you can do this in your calculator. One way is that you can do log 17 divided by log 3. You can just type it in like that. So you'll notice that if I go to that, log 17 divided by log 3, here's the answer we get. The other way to do it is if you have the math and if you arrow up. Okay, this calculator does not have that. Let me try my other one here. On this one, if I go to math and I arrow up, I can get to log base. And this is the easier way of doing it. I can just do log base 3 of 17. Okay, we get that. And then again, just showing you that was equivalent to the other way we did it. Notice how they're exactly the same. So even if you have a calculator that does not have this capability on it, you can still do this and you'll get the exact same answer. So we'll round that to the nearest hundredth. To the nearest hundred, 2.58. All right, so down here now, we're going to do just problem number 18. This has to do with decibels. You might have heard of decibel levels in science. So it says, for a sound with intensity I in watts per square meter, the loudness L of I of the sound in decibels is given by the function L of I equals 10 log I over I sub O, where I sub O is the intensity of a barely audible sound, about 10 to the negative 12 watts per square meter. The intensity of the sound of a certain children's television show is half the intensity of the adult show that is on before it. By how many decibels does the loudness decrease? Okay. It's a pretty tough problem, and you're going to have one similar to this on your homework. So let's talk about what's going to happen here. Well, first of all, I'm going to talk about having the adult show. So the shows that the adults are watching has a decibel level. It's L of I equals 10 log. I don't know what the intensity is, so I just call it I over I sub O. It's just our formula. Okay, there's nothing that I can really evaluate with it. It's just going to be that. So the children's show, a little bit softer level, and this is going to be 10 log, but this one is going to be half the level of this one. So it's going to be 0.5 of whatever the first one is. Again, I don't know what it is, and it doesn't really matter. I just know it's going to be half of it. So if I want to know by how many levels does the loudness decrease, well, I want to do this loudness minus this loudness. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to have 10 log I over I sub O, and then I'm going to have minus, because that's the loudness of the show the adults are watching. Here's the children's, minus 10 log 0.5 I over I sub O. Well, based on this, I could rewrite this as 10 log I minus 10 log I sub O. Does everybody understand why that would be equivalent for this one? See what I'm doing? I'm just using the fact that if I have division, it's subtraction. Whereas this one is going to be minus, and it's minus this whole thing. It's going to be minus 10 log 0.5, and then these are being multiplied, so I would do plus log, let me do the 10 as well, plus 10 log I, and then minus 10 log I sub O. Let me just show this again. So this is going to be 10 log I minus 10 log I sub O. They both had to have the 10 with them. This one is going to be minus this whole thing, 10 log 0.5. This is multiplication, so it's plus 10 log I, and then it's minus 10 log I sub O. So now we're going to distribute the negative through. So I'm going to have to come up, I'm going to just go down here, we're not going to use this. 10 log I minus 10 log I sub O, minus 10 log 0.5, minus 10 log I, plus 10 log I sub O. You guys see what's happening? Everybody following? What's going to happen then if I have 10 log I minus 10 log I? What are those going to be? Those are 0, aren't they? What about this? Negative 10 log I sub O plus 10 log I sub O. What's going to happen with those? 0. So then the difference, remember back up here, we were trying to find the difference in the decibels. That difference in the decibels is going to equal negative 10 log 0.5. So now I'm just going to go into the calculator and I'm going to do negative 10 log 0.5. And it gives me 3.01. So it's going to be a decrease of 3.01 decibels. Okay? So even though the intensity is half the amount, the difference in the decibels is only 3 decibels. And that's what's confusing about decibels, is it doesn't really follow the same kind of rules as normal arithmetic does, and that's because it's based on exponents and logs, so it's going to work a little differently. Questions on that? So I think yours is going to be one where something is twice as loud as has twice the intensity of the other, and you have to find out the difference in the decibels. So you can see how similar it would be. All right, so that's all we need to do for notes.